All right, here we go. In 5, 4, 3.
Roadside Attraction, May 12th, 2019. Contents under pressure. Do not puncture or incinerate.
Attention tourists and travelers, you have entered the event horizon of Roadside Attraction Live. Once you pass the event horizon, we're really just ones and zeros, powered by whatever it is that makes ideas breathe and music flow. So, unfocus your eyes, concentrate on the space between your thoughts, and cut the wheel in the direction of the big tree, which will mysteriously appear in your peripheral vision. Get ready to stretch your imagination and shake the kinks out of your comfort zone. We'll entertain you with stories and songs, a giant ball of twine, a 2,000-pound groundhog, that's me, and the last really tough-minded thinking for 200 miles. See the tall man with the genuine smile for further information. He's Mark Jeffers, our guide.
All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Roadside Attraction. Now, you know, out here in flyover country, we enjoy life in many forms. We like to sing about life and tell stories about it. We like to look at it, dance with it, cook it and eat it. I bet you can tell that just by looking at the people here, but if you look at most of the new arrivals at Roadside Attraction, you'll see a bunch of people who are under a lot of pressure and could explode. So we'd just like to ask you to stay away from open flames and sharp objects until you've had the opportunity to release some of that pressure. Just loosen up your lips, drop those shoulders down, and stop thinking about your to-do list for a few minutes. Now there you go. Get swept up in the sound and try to tap your foot. That's good. Now there's a band we love called Nasty Bingo. And members of that band are also in the Roadside Band. In that form, they call themselves Mini Bingo. Now tonight, on this occasion, they're down to just one, Matt Bianski. So we'll just call this Matt Bianski Bingo Band and Friends. Take it away, guys.
Early one morning, the sun was shining. I was laying in bed, wondering if she changed it all, if her hair was still red. The folks said our lives together sure was gonna be rough. Never did like Mama's homemade dress. Papa's bank book wasn't big enough. Now I'm standing on the side of the road with the rain falling on my shoes. Heading out to the East Coast, Lord knows I'll pay some dues. Getting through, tangled up in blue. Well, she was married when we first met, soon to be divorced. I helped her out of a jam, I guess, but I used a little too much force. We drove that car as far as we could, abandoning it out west. Split up on the docks that night, but believing it was best. She turned around and looked at me as I was walking away. I heard her say over my shoulder, meet again someday on the avenue. Tangled up in blue. I had a job in the great North Woods, working as a cook for a spell. but I never did like it all that much. And one day the axe just fell, and I drifted down to New Orleans, lucky enough to be employed. Worked for a while on a fishing boat right outside of Delacroix. And all the while I was alone, the past was close behind. I seen a lot of women, but they never escaped my mind. And I just grew tangled up in blue. Working in a topless place when I stopped in for a beer. I just kept looking at the side of her face and the spotlight so clear. And later on when the crowd came down, I just about to do the sing, she was standing there at the back of my chair saying to me, don't I know your name? I muttered something under my breath. She studied the lines of my face. I must admit I felt a little uneasy when she bent down to tie the lace of my shoe. Tangled up in blue. She lit the burner on the stove, offered me a pipe. I said I never did think that she'd say hello, you look like a silent type. And then she opened up a book of poems, handed it to me, written by an Italian poet from the 13th century. Every one of them words rang true and glowed like burning coal, pouring off every page like it was written in my soul, from me to you. Tangled up in blue. I lived with him on Montague Street in the basement down the stairs. There was music in the cafes at night and revolution in the air. And then he started dealing in slaves and something inside of him died. She had to sell everything she owned and froze up inside. Finally, when the bottom fell out, I became withdrawn. The only thing I knew to do was keep on keeping on like a bird that flew, tangled up in blue. Well, now I'm going back again, somehow the people that we used to know are an illusion to me now. Some are mathematicians, some are carpenter's wives. I don't know how it all got started, I don't know what they did with their lives. Me, I'm still on the road, heading for another joint. We always did feel the same, we just saw it from a different point of view. Tangled up in blue, tangled up in blue, tangled up in blue.
Woohoo! Yeah. Good job. All right. Matt Bayansky. And friends.
And friends, lots of friends.
So tell us about that song, Matt.
So that's a very famous Bob Dylan tune.
Yeah.
And Red, who is normally a part of Mini Bingo, Red and I have been doing that song with bands since the early 2000s.
Yeah.
So it's a great jam song. It's just people know it, people sing it. So it's
Yeah.
a lot of verses, you know. It's a
Yeah. And no offense to Mr. Dylan, but I like the way you sing it better.
thank you.
So who'd you have helping you out tonight?
Okay, so tonight, of course, we got Rich Reuter here on guitar.
Yeah, Rich.
We had Windsor. We had Windsor for a moment there.
Yeah.
And we got Marcia on the bass here. And Don on the kit back in the back. So.
All right. All right. Well, how about a little traveling music then?
You're listening to Roadside Attraction, brought to you by the FutureWorks, your source for portable foods for the post-digital era. We sell survival. Get it while you can. And buy
the packing plant by the river. Our hot dogs taste like catfish liver.
Still the customers come.
God love them, they're dumb.
Through the
Open doors to the killing floors.
Well, it's a ding dang dong. Gimme Dimmy, gimme Dimmy, gimme Dimmy Jean.
Hi, y'all know me. I'm Dimmy Jean. Work down there at the meatpacking plant by the river. But hey, that don't make me any better than you. We're all in it for the money. You know, I spent some time this week with some of them college boys from the marketing department, and I want to tell you, they are some different kind of folk. These are people who take a shower before they go to work. But they help us meet our goals down here at Dimmy Jean Products. And of course, the only goal, is to make a great big pile of money. So we put up with them marketing department college boys, and God love them, they are dumb. They come around and started asking questions and saying, like they understood what I was saying, which they didn't, because I was talking about working, and they don't know nothing about that. They just tapped on their phones and wiped their shoes and took out their hankies, and every once in a while they'd gag a little bit. But they did get around to the point after a while, and they asked this question. They said, Dimmy Jean, what y'all boys like to do for fun? So I asked around, I asked all the fellas, and don't you know, every dang one of them said the same thing. I like to get drunk, drive around the 4x4, and then head out to the dump and shoot rats. So the marketing department boys went off, and they sat around with a meat byproduct product development team, and they came back and they said, Dimmy Jean, sounds to us like you need something portable. And they give it to me, and this is it. Dimmy Jean's Meat Whiz. You like chicken? We got whiz chicken with or without hot sauce. You like pork? Comes in 3 styles. Pork and sauerkraut meat whiz, barbecued pork meat whiz, and everybody's favorite, bacon. And it goes without saying that meat whiz is gluten-free. I like beef. Hand me a cracker and I'll slop some on there for you, or if you want, I'll just squirt some straight into your mouth. Meat Whiz is probably available at a gas station near you. So next time you're fixing to head out to the dump for some live animal target practice, grab a can of Dimmy Jean's Meat Whiz to complete the experience. And hey, let's make America eat meat again. Woo-hoo!
can be stored indefinitely under the seat of your car in the trunk. Or in the trunk. To avoid compromise to your cardiovascular system, the American Medical Association does not recommend consuming more than 1 can per day. Gluten-free, high-fat, high-protein substitute Meat Whiz is a key part of the post-9/11 diet. It's perfect for hiding in your basement, sheltering in a panic room, or heading out to the dump to shoot rats. Memory loss has been reported. Dimmy Jean Products is not responsible. No, it isn't.
Gimme, Dimmy Jean.
Oh, man. All right, folks. Now, as if that wasn't bad enough, we also have a problem that comes up every now and then, and we need your help. Now, as you know, Roadside Attraction is located next to a secret research facility, one that we don't know about because it's a secret, but we noticed some time ago that the bad vibes from the facility tend to accumulate at the edge of the property. Now, they're actually visible at times. They look like smog. They shimmer like heat waves. They smell like trimethylamine toxicity. And series of tests over time have revealed that we can cause the bad vibes to dissipate if we scream at them. So, we'd like everyone to join in with a scream. Now, it's a community service. You'll feel better, and you'll feel like you just gave money to a public radio station, all right? Okay, ready? On 3. 1, 2, 3. Thank you. Oh, the phone is ringing at the haunted phone booth. Now, caller ID says it's Paula Unruh. Now, most phone booths don't have caller ID, but remember, this one is haunted. Now, Paula has been a resident poet here at Roadside Attraction, but then she and her man Martin just up and moved to Texas. They're on their way there right now, but I bet she's got something for us.
Janis Joplin eats mangoes in India. There is no good way to eat a mango without at least a knife to cut it open. Yet, when the mango walla appeared, students swarming past, bearing a basket on his head like a fancy hat, we bought the impractical fruit and snuck off campus. Sitting on the low branch of an oak, we ripped the bitter skin open with our teeth and wallowed in the golden fruit, the sticky juice everywhere. The wet bark, the bitter skin, the stringy pudding of the fruit, and then the rain. Luscious, we leaned against the gnarly trunk like adolescent odalisques and opened our mouths. We made it back just before the bell, laughing, down, and wicked. Like an oracle, the mango walla had materialized in the exact spot I had stood when I heard of your death. I had stopped for a moment in the swarm of students and the end of monsoon drizzle, listening against the current for a meaning. We, with our long hair, Bodhi beads, homespun hippie threads, more authentic than anyone's back home because we were really there. Every Wednesday night we danced. We sang for freedom. We got high. We let the music take us higher. We gave pieces of our heart. We thrashed against the fraying of a dream. We did everything we knew to keep the celebration going, Janis. Everything we knew.
Our journey thus far has brought us to the big front porch at the Center for Therapeutic Indolence. Now, this is the best kind of place. It rewards you mightily just for listening. Here is Paige Beller.
All this time
thought I was above, but caught in a trap with my back against the wall. I couldn't adapt, oh, I just couldn't face all the pressure it builds from within, threatens to swallow you filled to the brim, and reach out for help and nobody can swim. Stupid sentimental shit, wasted on years of choice and regret, but don't blame yourself. Life's too fucking hard to expect excellence. Just doing the best with the cards that you get, but don't fold under pressure. It builds from within, threatens to swallow you filled to the brim, and you reach out for help and nobody can swim.
Figure out why my guitar is doing crazy stuff. Who'd have thought all this junk could go wrong? Wild, wild. For once, I don't think it's all of the pedals. I think it's the most simple part of it all. The story of my life. Most my friends have died or gone away.
Paige Beller. We love you, Paige.
RoadsideAttractionLive.com is a treasure map. There is found art and unfound genius there for those who search. The American landscape, Anna Baum. We're a regular archive of authenticity.
And in that archive is an oral tradition. Now, from the dawn of mankind until roughly 30 years ago, wisdom was passed through tales and stories. In order to recite a poem, it is necessary to remember it. And Bill Mooney can do that. We're happy he's here.
Well, Paige, you knocked me out, girl. Man, this is hot stuff. Well, kind of a weird way to follow up, but this is a poem called Before I Die. I like to stay up till the break of day, hoping somehow to find my way. Sometimes I even dream I can fly. Like many old hippies, I want to see heaven before I die. Meanwhile, I worry about rent to pay, meeting ends and learning to pray. At times it's hard to stay warm and dry, and I still want to see heaven before I die. There is a frosted clarity to lights on old winter nights. I yearn for past lovers, bundled under the covers. I dream of days gone by, and I want to see heaven before I die. I stuck my thumb out in the wind, waiting to see what fate would send. There were times I just wandered round, laying on the cold, damp ground beneath the moon, staring at the sky. And I wanted to see heaven before I died. The journey goes on as others' journeys end. I bury my loved ones, lean on my friends, take a deep breath and let out a sigh, and hope to see heaven before I die. Thank you.
Now, surely you have noticed that there's a groove to a lot of what we do here. And much of that is provided by our bass player, Marcia Cornwell. Now, we're going to bring him out front now because he has other talents. Take it away, Marcia.
Now, this song is like straight out of the Mississippi Delta, so if you like it, enjoy it. Here's a little story about a woman named Nellie. She kept her family above water, but sometimes barely. She didn't have a good life, and at times seemed so hard. All she had was Jesus, and at times it seemed so far. Have you seen little Miss Nellie? Have you seen, have you seen little Miss Nellie? Here's another story about little Miss Nellie. She called upon Jesus when her health was failing. She didn't have an answer as she struggled to be so hard. She went home with Jesus. Now she struggles no more. Have you seen little Miss Nellie? Have you seen little Miss Nellie? And here's a little story. And here's another story. And here's another story. And here's another story. Have you seen little Miss Nellie? Have you seen little Miss Nellie? Thank you very much. Riding proud on the trail, see the horizon, pray that we won't ever fail. Mountains are high that I can't seem to see. This road to travel won't ever cease. And can't you see the horizon? And can't you see the horizon? Sun up high, shining free, watching the time as the clouds go by on the breeze, riding proud against the wind, pressing to travel for the day will end. But can't you see the horizon? But can't you see the horizon? Can't you see the horizon? Can't you see, yeah, the horizon? Thank you very much. Good job.
All right. That was Marcia Cornwell, everybody. Hey, Marcia, before you walk away from the mic, you had some, the Matt Bayansky Bingo Band and friends with you, but who was your help?
The famous Sue Miller.
Sue Miller.
Yeah, the Sue Miller Band. Yeah, that's right.
A great job, guys. Thank you.
You're listening to Roadside Attraction, recorded live at Yellow Cab Tavern in Dayton, Ohio, the former home of the Wright Brothers Bicycle Shop. It was at 1127 West 3rd Street, but Henry Ford bought it and moved it to Dearborn, Michigan. Nobody here even seems curious about it, but we sing songs about loss, and we often take flights of fancy. Welcome to Dayton.
Okay, so we're gonna quickly turn a corner here because there's a cop on a bicycle headed our way, and it's not clear these days that law in America is not supposed to be arbitrary and capricious. So we try not to get involved.
The Charlieville Report, observations and overheard conversations. Reliable reporting on events both real and imagined. Today, retirement dinner, tonight at 7:30. I almost got another ticket, a traffic ticket today from Officer Donnie, but he let me off with a warning. I haven't gotten a ticket from Officer Donnie in 25 years. Of course, I've been out of town for some time, so I haven't been available, but when I lived here in Charlieville before, I got a lot of tickets from Officer Donnie. I've been ticketed for going too slow, going too fast, playing my radio too loud, rolling through stop signs, and not buckling my seatbelt. They were all legitimate busts. Officer Donnie had me dead to rights. More than once, I was cited for having a messy car. But my favorite citation dates back a long time to the days when I drove a beat-up, faded brown 1962 Dodge Dart, and Officer Donnie fined me for having an ugly car. How could I argue? He was right. The 62 Dart was bug ugly. Today, I parked at a metered space on Main Street and ran into the Charlieville market for just a moment. I didn't put any money in the meter. I was only going to be a minute, and I wasn't much more than a minute, but when I returned to my car, Officer Donnie was waiting for me. His bicycle was parked on the street next to my car. Its rotating red light was turning. A long antenna fixed to the handlebars was vibrating in the breeze. I said, "Officer Donnie, good to see you." The memory of many traffic stops came back to me in a rush. I had always been friendly toward Officer Donnie, so I got a lot of tickets. He said, "Good to see you too, sir. We have a meter violation here." I asked him, "What's the fine for that, officer?" And he said, "I'm going to let you off with a warning, sir." Why's that, I wondered. "This is my last day on the job, sir. I'm retiring after 50 years. I didn't know what to say. I looked at this man, Officer Donnie, in late middle age, well over 6 feet, crew cut and clean shaven, wearing a wrinkled black shirt, patched pants, and a 5-pointed star pinned to his shirt that said Marshall, standing next to a very old Schwinn bicycle with a toy siren and a police light. He looked at me with the same deadpan serious that I remembered it from many years before, but there was a depth behind those eyes that I did not recall from before. "Has it been 50 years?" I asked. "Yes, sir. I've been on duty since I was 12. I said, I guess congratulations are in order." "Thank you, sir." He mounted his bicycle and then he said, "Drive carefully." He turned on his toy siren and pedaled off. Officer Donnie is an institution in Charlieville. He's been pretending to be the town marshal for longer than many of our citizens can remember. He has long since been proven harmless, but as a full-grown man, he's also far past cute. Officer Donnie has been embarrassment to some people over the years and often an object of cruel amusement for some. I remember the first time he stopped me. I was around 10. He must have been 17 or so. We were both on bicycles. I went through a stop sign on a back street intersection where there were no cars, and I heard the sound of a siren behind me. He made the sound with his voice back then. Back before battery-powered bicycle sirens were available. He looked huge to me then. I was small, he was grown. He lectured me on bicycle safety in the most serious way while writing on a notepad. He tore off the page he'd been writing and handed it to me. It was covered with scrawls, shapes that looked vaguely like letters but said nothing. I didn't know who he was then, and it was scary. He pedaled off, and an adult who had been watching over the scene said, "Don't worry, he's harmless. He's just Officer Donnie, the village idiot. Every village needs a village idiot." Officer Donnie was always polite. He called everyone sir or ma'am. He never used familiar names. I don't even know if he knew people's names. He was always serious, as if on a sense of mission. Sometimes the real police would have to intervene with out-of-towners, explaining that he's just a village idiot. He was beaten up a few times. He said, "It comes with the job." He did his job. He's one of the few people I've ever known who actually chose his life work. As time passed, it began to dawn on people that he was always right. He never issued one of his citations that was not deserved, and it never failed to cite a violator he saw to be in violation. Officer Donnie acted entirely on principle with complete integrity and no expectation of compensation. He kept us honest. In some traditions, the madman of the village is revered. He's the starets, the seer or the soothsayer, the oracle, or the idiot, from the word idiotus, meaning unknown self. The unknown self of the village, and he's retiring. Who will keep us honest now? It appears that we will need a new idiot. I called up the street, "Donnie!" And he stopped. He turned his bike around, he pulled up next to me again. "Is there a problem, sir?" "No, not really," I said, and again I wasn't sure what to say. "What are you going to do now?" "I'm learning to read. Mr. Carmichael, the old English teacher from Charlieville High School, is teaching me. He's retired now, so he has time to teach. Now I can learn to read. I'm going to sit by the stream and read books. What are you going to do now, sir?"
Well, folks, just like that, it's over. Now, for those of you here at the Yellow Cab for this recording, stick around because we have Paige Beller coming up with her friends Chase Duncan and Zach Frost for the live at Yellow Cab recording. Those of you listening online, check out Roadside Attraction website, and you'll find a link to that recording also. So now the curtain closes. No, it's stuck open. Oh well, the show ends, but of course it doesn't. It just becomes potential. It can restart at any time on any plane. You are the only thing you know. Please stop by the temporary tattoo parlor on your way out. Federal law requires us to clearly mark you with the warning: contents under pressure. Do not puncture or incinerate.
A special thank you to the Yellow Cab Tavern for hosting the IRL version of Roadside Attraction, and to Tara Moore. Mark Jeffers is our host on the podcast and our host at Yellow Cab. Mark and Tara make it all possible. Come into Yellow Cab for Showcase Thursdays, too. It's a singer-songwriter listening room hosted by Windsor Knots. It's always good, often great, and will sometimes have you thinking, "Oh my God, I can't believe that just happened." Windsor is our musical director, stage manager, sound tech, and first assistant rhythm guitar player at Roadside Attraction. Our featured performer today was Paige Beller. We heard from Matt Bayansky, Rich Reuter, Don Weinegar, and Marcia Cornwell, this show's version of the Roadside Bands. Scott Millsop wrote and produced Roadside Attraction. He was also Dimmy Jean, and he filed a report from Charlieville. Paula Unrau left us with a poem on the way out of town. Bill Mooney was our guest poet today. We understand that ideas are energy beings that think for you. That's not necessarily a good thing. Jeff Up set up the sounds. This room is Jeff's room. It's a really good room. Thank you, Jeff. Charlie Parker brought us lights and post-production services. He is visitor 29. Brandon Barry is the video producer, director, and editor of this video thing, along with Max Greene as camera operator. I'm Molly Millsop, voice of the 2,000-pound groundhog. Roadside Attraction is an AHA production.
Yes, it is.
All right, everybody.
Redo.
Yeah. Sit tight. We're doing it all over.